Yeah, displaying perfectly well the dulcet tones of my guest today in the Session Suite, Celine Carroll. That's just beautiful.
Rock
Hard
and roll.
gold. Ah,
Yeah, I like that song. It's one of my personal favourites.
yeah.
It's a nice song to play as well.
How long did it take yourself and Neil to write that?
Neil
Young.
Diamond.
Neil Young, Neil Diamond.
Oh.
Listen, you're in a classier group of people than Neil Diamond.
Different group. Neil's written some
I
great
know he
songs.
has, he has, yeah.
I'm a Believer.
Oh, well, this I know.
Did,
I
yeah.
know.
And
but,
Red Wine.
but he is very easy to slag, in fairness.
He is.
He's a bit chicken in the rough.
Because he's not here.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Unless he's watching on WDAR.ie.
He could be.
He could well be. How are you, Neil? Yes.
About you. I kneel to you.
There was no need for that. Anyway, listen to me. I want to talk to you about your career as a kleptomaniac.
Okay.
Robin-
I don't steal songs.
I wasn't
Okay.
suggesting that in the slightest. But flower pots from
Flower
dressing rooms.
Well, he was gone. So it was McCartney at the O2.
Paul McCartney.
Well, you can say McCartney. It's not going to be like, well, it could be Stella, I suppose, but I wouldn't be going to see Stella in the O2.
Listen, the only one I can use as a single name is Daniel.
Anyway,
In case people are going, McCartney, who's McCartney? There are people like that.
yeah. Anyway, do they listen to your program?
Not that I don't let them.
Alright.
I'll ring them up and say, stop listening now.
Turn it
There's going
off.
to be a reference to McCartney and you won't know who it is.
Anyway, the gig was over and we were kind of backstage and he was gone. I mean, the minute he puts plectrum down, sure, he's gone. He was in bed and everything, but I was still having my third gin and tonic.
I'd like to
It's
know how you actually know this. Oh, he was in bed by 12. I know.
Well, I reckon he's not going to stay in Dublin when he can just shoot off onto a plane and get back to his house in London,
Yeah.
in 45 minutes or whatever. So we were, myself and Siobhan, who does backing vocals, who actually that last song was about, we were at the gig, and so we kind of back. Come on, we go in. I said we might get a hanky or something. It's a tissue with some makeup on it because he does wear a bit of makeup, and so. The girl that was in charge says, well, do you want these? So I didn't technically steal them. She says, do you want these two beautiful floral arrangements?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely citrus fruit and cinnamon sticks and
Lovely.
gorge. You saw it.
I did, yeah.
And so we got one each. I still have mine at home on the piano where
Super.
I write my songs.
Indeed.
And I kind of ask him for some guidance every now and again.
Really?
Yeah, musical guidance. I wouldn't ask him anything about
No.
Just keep it musical.
Yes, indeed. At this stage, yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I know you didn't rob it, and it was being sort of facetious. It doesn't make good copy when you say, she got, it was given to her.
I held a knife to his throat and I stole it.
That's the
There you
one I
go.
wanted. Yes. You can take your balaclava off now. That was brilliant. Yeah, and of course the other famous thing as well. You're teaching Bono how to play songs. Tell me about that. I know it's an old story, but I've been meaning to talk to you every time we come in about that, and we never got around to it.
He just a friend of mine was working as an engineer, studio engineer, not driving a train.
And, Casey Jones, my old mate.
And he just called me one day. This was years ago. It was a Good Friday, and asked me would I be interested in coming up playing piano for a jam. I said, yeah, no problem. So went up to this house because all the pubs were closed on Good Friday, and it was on the mountains, and it was Bono was there, and it was the U2 were. It was there. I think the house belonged to The Edge. I'm sure it was The Edge's house. I'm not sure. And they had set up a studio. They were doing pre-production for the Joshua Tree.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I wasn't into U2 really. I'd seen them years ago in Gorey in Wexford as the hype, and I wasn't into that kind of punky kind of thing.
Yeah.
So now they'd moved on a big time.
Of course.
Yeah, but I wasn't in awe of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because the Joshua Tree was the thing that exploded.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I was
they-
watching. There was a great documentary on last night. Dave Fanning putting his Bono forward as Ireland's greatest person. Very, really great program, But at the time, when it goes back to that time, I was listening to Prefab Sprout, I was listening to all that kind of stuff. But so I wasn't phased by him when I went in. I didn't
You
go,
weren't starstruck,
my God,
yeah.
So we had a little bit of a jam, and and it's funny. I don't remember the kind of the jam that we were doing. I was playing on the piano, But I recently, last Christmas, met the engineer who had invited me up, who went to LA and won a Grammy for Ray of Light, has worked with Katie Lang, has worked with R.E.M., Counting Crows,
wow, right.
big load of people. But he was home, and we met, like he's from local boy, and I was saying, because what happened was Bono had a row with his wife because he forgot her birthday, right? Now,
it's back to birthdays again, isn't it?
Yeah, and he wanted to write a song, and this was the jam, right? But I didn't know at the time, because it never appeared on the Joshua Tree album, but it was The Sweetest Thing.
Wow.
And Pat, the engineer, said it to me, it was The Sweetest Thing. It was released as a B-side of a single.
That's right, yeah.
And I didn't know that, so when I've been telling everybody about this story, I was saying, people are going to think I'm making it up, because it sounds like, oh, that one he forgot about, but it was, and it does chronologically tie in with. As it turned out then, he recorded Love Me Tender, and he was to play it on the guitar, and he couldn't play the chords, and I was showing him the chords, and very hairy wrists, I do remember that.
Really? Bono?
Yeah.
I knew I was going to shave my wrist before I came out today.
Certainly shave.
If I'd have known I was teaching Bono the guitar, I'd have shaved my wrist, for God's sake. Someone should have told me.
So he tried to play it, and he really did, and I was playing on the piano, and at the end of it he just kind of went, oh look, will you just play on the guitar? So what's his name had come in at that stage, the drummer, Larry Mullen.
Right.
And Larry made me a cup of tea, which was very nice. And Larry sat down on a snare drum with brushes. There was a baffle, which is like a see-through window in the studio.
Yeah.
And I was on the other side of that, on a high stool. There's a little bit of a baffle.
Oh, he was on a high stool?
And then Bono was on a higher stool. And we just went 1, 2, 3 and took it, and it was recorded, and they never gave me a copy of it.
Really?
Yeah. I saw Pat that night, and I says, any chance? He says, I'll see what I can do. And I never got a copy of it. I suppose they were probably afraid I'd bootleg it or something.
Yeah.
But when I bumped into Pat at Christmas, he said, I'm sure I have a copy of that in the attic in my mother's house.
Hang on, what?
Get it?
Yeah, my work up in the attic.
So that's it.
Right, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was, so he owes me. Bono, you owe me. You owe me big time.
Yeah.